Hey guys, this is Christian here, and today I am back with Oscar predictions. This is my first time since June I'm going to be doing them. So yeah, it's August now, and we've gotten festival lineup announcements. So now we can get an idea of what may be contending in some categories. Obviously, we won't know fully until after the festivals, which is when I'm planning to do my next predictions after this one, after festivals, probably sometime in September or October. But today I have my predictions pre-festivals. So we're going to be doing all the above and below the line categories, except the shorts, because we can't even do. I'm not as educated about the shorts. But yeah, we're gonna do all the categories. We're gonna start with best picture. I have Sinners out front. Top Gun. All right, I have Sinners. So for best picture, I have Sinners out front right now. I don't think it's impossible another movie can overtake it, but Sinners is just universally loved by everyone. Um, it can win many it can get a whole sweep. It can win director, screenplay, a bunch of tech, cinematography, score, maybe even songs, maybe sound, editing, maybe production design. It can win a ton of Oscars with Best Picture, and it would be another classic Best Picture sweep that we've seen this decade, like Oppenheimer, Everything Everywhere. Coda didn't win like 7 Oscars, but it won everything it was nominated for. Anora, that kind of swept. That won 5 out of 6 of the Oscars it was nominated for. Nomadland won 3 out of the 6 Oscars I think it was nominated for. Sentimental Value, I could see this maybe being I can maybe see this being like the red herring of the season. Like maybe Sentimental Value takes Golden Globes and BAFTAs, and then maybe Sinners dominates with Critics' Choice and the Guilds, which would obviously be extremely important for it. Well, we're gonna get to that category, but yeah, I could see Sentimental Value being like the number 2. I could maybe even see it maybe winning. Who knows? Premiered at Cannes, got amazing reviews at Cannes, finished in 2nd place. It's gonna be at TIFF and all these other festivals. It's a guarantee. Jay Kelly just got a trailer, which I think looks very good. It's directed by Noah Baumbach. Stars George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Laura Dern. Hello. I'm not doing that on this stream. This is for Oscar predictions. But yeah, Jay Kelly is also about an actor. So Hollywood loves honoring movies about it themselves. And this is going to be at Venice and New York Film Festival. Not TIFF for some reason, but it's going to be at those. I think it's going to be at Telluride too. All right. Marty Supreme. This one's not a festival movie. This is going to be a Christmas release. Directed by Josh Safdie, starring Timothy Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Tyler the Creator, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. It's going to be like a period movie, maybe similar tonally to like Wolf of Wall Street or something. We can't say for sure if this is going to be a big contender. It's definitely not a lock. It could get open with mixed reviews and then drop out, but we'll see. I think it could get a decent nomination haul with picture, director, actor, screenplay, text in there too. But yeah. Number 5, I have Begonia. This is the New York Lanthimos movie with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. I thought the trailer looked very good, the teaser. This is going to be at Venice, not going to be at TIFF. I don't think it's going to be at New York Film Festival either. Which, although I think Yorgos has had movies there before. I know he had Poor Things and The Favorite. Those were also both Venice movies. I think Begonia could get very good reviews. I don't know if it's going to be quite on the same level of reviews that Poor Things and The Favorite got, but it could still be good. Yorgos isn't writing this one. It's Will Tracy, the writer of The Menu, writing it. The trailer doesn't make me think it's going to be like a Kinds of Kindness-esque Lanthimos. It seems like it's going to be like an accessible awards movie, but we'll see. Maybe the movie comes out and it's extremely weird. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. The Testament of Anne Lee. This is a musical. It's directed by Mona Vasvold, whose husband or partner, Brady Corbet, directed last year's Oscar contender, The Brutalist. This movie stars Amanda Seyfried and Thomasin McKenzie, and this is a period musical. 1 out of 2 musicals I'm predicting. For the second year in a row, I have 2 musicals in. Wow. But yeah, this is hitting most of the festivals, I'm pretty sure. I think it's going to be at Venice and TIFF. And yeah, it seems to be in one of those movies that's hitting all the festivals. Yeah, he won original song for Selma, I'm pretty sure. He won that with Common. But yeah, The Testament Family, this can be maybe like a more like prestige musical compared to like Wicked for Good, which is going to be more blockbustery, I guess. So am I. It's probably my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, but there's so many that coming out that I'm excited for. But yeah, Testament Family. If it gets good reviews from the festivals, it'll be in. If not, then it'll be out. And we're gonna get to Wicked for Good shortly. But first, we have to talk about Rental Family. This one also got a trailer today. Stars Brendan Fraser. And I think it looks really good. Kind of like a wholesome, like crowd pleaser-esque movie. This could be the frontrunner to win the People's Choice Award at TIFF. It is premiering at TIFF. It seems like the obvious choice to win the People's Choice Award. Sometimes they go with the obvious pick, like Belfast or The Fabelmans, or sometimes they'll throw a little curveball, like they did with Life of Chuck. I actually predicted Life of Chuck would win that though, because I felt like Saturday Night felt too obvious, and then it didn't even place, and then it just like was long gone. I thought that was like the first sign that it was not going to do good things at award season. Although it was a very good movie. But yeah, I don't think American Fiction was predicted to win either because The Holdovers was also at TIFF. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Jay Kelly. That might win the Golden Lion at Venice because like Alexander Payne's the president of the jury, I'm pretty sure. So maybe that could be like up his lane or something. But yeah, Rental Family seems like a heartwarming movie. Could get actors and could get nominated for screenplay. So yeah. Then we got Wicked for Good. I'm seeing some people not having it in, which I think is valid. It's a sequel. The Oscars can sometimes be harsh towards sequels. However, I feel like we're not going to know for sure if Wicked is going to be out until the reviews come out. And this is not going to be a festival movie or anything. So we just have to wait until November when the reviews come out and see if they're actually good. Personally, as someone who loved the first Wicked movie, I loved it way more than I thought I would. I kind of feel like we're in good hands with the sequel. I thought the trailer looked very good, although that's kind of all we have in terms of marketing, like in terms of footage. But yeah, I think it looks very good. Act 2 of Wicked, I think, is good overall. I think it is extremely rushed, and the movie might fix that by being over 2 hours, maybe even around the same length as the first movie. So I kind of feel like we're in good hands with Wicked, and as long as we're in good hands and the movie gets good reviews, I don't even think it has to be better than the first one. It could just be in anyway. Other categories, though, will be whether it gets into other categories will be the question. Like will the actors still get in? Will it still get like some of the text? So yeah, we're just gonna have to see with Wicked. But for now, I feel decently about that. I feel decent that it's gonna be a good movie or a great movie. I don't think it's gonna be as good as the first one. The first one is very hard to top, and I think Act 1 of Wicked is better than Act 2. But I do feel decently that that's gonna be good, and because of that, I feel okay having it in Best Picture right now. I'm gonna hold on to it until the reviews are like not great. Unless the reviews are not great, then I'll like take it out. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I can see this one being mid. The Deliver Me From Nowhere. I thought the trailer looked good, but I could see a world where it's mid. Maybe Jeremy Allen White's incredible in it, but maybe it's a little more surface level. But we know that the Oscars cannot resist their biopics. They loved Bohemian Rhapsody. In the modern era, they loved Bohemian Rhapsody, Elvis. A Complete Unknown did amazingly last year, getting nominated for director, screenplay, multiple actors. Even like way back before like the modern biopic era with movies like Ray and Walk the Line, which wasn't nominated for Best Picture, but still got other nominations in the acting categories, and Reese Witherspoon won. So yeah, they love their biopics. They're suckers for them. And if Deliver Me From Nowhere is at least like a quality movie, and it's not like Bob Marley or the Whitney Houston like on the level of those two, it should probably be fine. I don't think it's nowhere near winning. I don't think it's gonna get as many nominations as A Complete Unknown did last year, but as long as it's good, it can maybe get in. And then number 10 I have It Was Just an Accident. This won the Palm earlier this year at Cannes. This is also going to be at other festivals. Like I think it's going to be at New York Film Festival. I think it's also going to be at TIFF. So yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard as much buzz about this one compared to Sentimental Value, but it could be in, and Panini can get a director nomination potentially. Original screenplay is very crowded though. May not get that. In terms of studios, I just want to go over real quick how many the studios for each of my predicted 10. Sinners is Warner Brothers, Sentimental Value is Neon, Jay Kelly's Netflix, Marty Supreme's A24, Begonia's Focus, I think Anley's also Focus, Rental Family Searchlight, Wicked for Good's Universal, Springsteen is 20th Century, and 20th Century Studios, and It Was Just an Accident is also Neon. Maybe being Neon's second priority could hurt it because I think they're going to be going all in on Sentimental Value that they may not be going as all in on It Was Just an Accident. I mean, you saw with A24, no, it's not the same studio, but A24, like they were heavily campaigning The Brutalist over Sing Sing, and Sing Sing missed. Although the year prior to that, they got both Past Lives and The Zone of Interest in. So yeah, just depends. Now let's get to my outside shots. One battle after another. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. He's an Oscar darling, and it's him and Leonardo DiCaprio doing a movie. I think the movie can be really good. It's just I feel like Warner Brothers is very concerned about the movie. Like they haven't. I remember there are like some trailers for it that are unlisted on YouTube. They're not sending it to any festivals. This movie's coming out right at the end of September, so that may be why. But yeah, I mean it's also like an action movie, like kind of like an action chase movie, and it's not like a coming of age movie like Licorice Pizza or like a prestige drama or anything. It's a prestige chase movie. I could see it being good. I also think it's going to be such a bomb at the box office, and the reviews I could see maybe being mixed, so maybe that could hurt it at the end. It's also maybe Warner Brothers just goes all in on Sinners, that they don't even care to campaign one. No, I think they're going to try because it's Paul Thomas Anderson. He's gotten There Will Be Blood in for Best Picture, Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza. I think they're going to try, but I think Sinners is going to be their main priority. Frankenstein number 12, the Del Toro one. I think it looks good. I think they are sending it to TIFF, I'm pretty sure. It was either TIFF or Venice. I think it's TIFF. This is another Netflix one. I could see this movie doing very well in tech categories. I'm not sure how well it's going to do in like above the line categories like director or screenplay. Adapted screenplay is kind of a weak category though, which we'll get into. Avatar: Fire and Ash. I thought the trailer also looked good. They have nominated both Avatar movies before. However, I feel like they're just going to get to a point where they're going to get sick of nominating Avatar again and again. And whether it's this one or maybe the fourth movie in a couple of years. I think the fourth movie is actually coming out in 2029, so it's going to be a longer wait compared to this and The Way of Water. But yeah, I feel like they're going to get to a point where they're just going to get sick of Avatar. And if it's not with this movie, I think it's going to be with the fourth movie. We'll see how this one does. We'll see if it gets good reviews. Again, obviously not going to go to festivals. I'm probably going to make $2 billion. Probably going to be a huge moneymaker, but we'll just kind of see if they're going to be sick of Avatar or if they're just going to not be able to resist Avatar. After the Hunt, I have at 14. I think this is premiering at Venice out of competition. I thought the trailer was great. This is probably one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. I think the acting looks great from Julie Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and Io Debris. Yeah, I think it looks like Luca Guadagnino is doing more of like an Oscar like bait movie compared to like Challengers and Queer and Bones and all that stuff. All of those movies. It is. I think it is also MGM's big contender. They get movies in quite a lot. Nickel Boys, American Fiction, Licorice Pizza, Women Talking got in. So yeah, we'll see if they'll get if this will get nominated. But I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see. I think it has everything it needs. It's just, will the movie actually be good? Is the question. House of Dynamite is the new Catherine Bigelow movie, also Netflix. I think that is premiering at New York Film Festival. They announced. Again, I just want to write on reviews to see if that's actually going to be in or not. The Smashing Machine, the A24 movie directed by Benny Safdie. Both Safdie brothers have movies this year. It stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt. I could see this movie being good. I can also see it being a little polarizing, maybe not getting in. I think if it is the Best Picture movie, though, The Rock's just going to win. He's going to have a hell of a campaign. So, yeah, we're just going to have to see about that. And then The Secret Agent premiered at Cannes earlier this year. Brazil's big movie. They just won with I'm Still Here in the Best International Feature category. So, yeah. Gonna keep a lookout out for that one. And Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out Mystery. Probably not gonna happen, but we'll see. They might not even get in at the Globes because the comedy category is pretty stacked this year. Oh, okay. Best Director, I have Ryan Coogler up front for Sinners. I think he can win, but if Sinners is outside of the top 3 for Best Picture, he could also miss. I feel like if it is at least if it's top 3, he'll get the nomination. And if it's number 1, he's just winning. Like, there's no disputing that. I could see him maybe losing Globe, BAFTA. I feel like Globe and BAFTA are going to go more international. They're going to go for, like, a sentimental value. And then Critics' Choice and the Guilds are going to go for a more American movie like Sinners. And they're going to go all out for Sinners, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I think as long as Coogler wins that Critics' Choice and DGA, then boom, you just take. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Trier takes Globe and BAFTA, which is why I have it on number 2. And if for whatever reason Ryan Coogler missed, then yeah, I think I messed up on my order. I think Lanthimos should be 4 and Josh Safdie 5. 4 for Marty Supreme. Josh Safdie. I think they're both going to get nominated. We'll talk about Yorgos. His movies always have such a distinctive style, and this one also seems to have a very distinct style to it that the Oscars may appreciate. However, if Begonia's a bottom 5, I can see him just not getting in. And Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme. Again, I think if the movie's top 5, he'll probably get in. But again, we'll see. If it's outside the top 5, maybe he misses, but we'll see. I do have it at number 3. No, I have it at number 4. But yeah, I have him in for now. And then number 5, I have Jafar Panini for It Was Just an Accident. He's the Cannes pick. If the movie's in, he's going to get in. They love to go with their Cannes directors. Noah Baumbach, I think, could get in for Jake Kelly. The trailer, I'm not sure how. I think he could get in. He might get in everywhere, to be honest. He might get Globe, Critics' Choice, DGA. But maybe he could be the big snub. Who knows? If I had to pick between him and Lanthimos, I feel like Lanthimos' movies have just more big style to it. But this one also looks well directed. Jay Kelly looks well directed, so he's definitely a very close 6. And I think I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah, I'm not disputing him. I think Noah Baumbach can definitely get in, but we'll have to see. Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Every time he gets a movie in Best Picture, he gets in. Happened with There Will Be Blood, happened with Phantom Thread, which he did not get any precursors for, but he still got in. And it happened with Licorice Pizza. I don't have the movie in Best Picture, though, so I haven't missed him. And maybe even if it is in Best Picture, he might still miss, because it's not a top 5 movie or anything. Well, neither were Phantom Thread or Licorice Pizza, but he still got it for those. It just depends on how tough the competition is. And I think that the top 6 is already pretty strong. These 6 are already strong, so it might be tough. Number 8, I have Mona Vasvold for The Testament of Anne Lee. If one of the musical directors gets in, it could be her. She could also be if they want to get a female director, and it could be her. I don't think it's gonna be Hikari for a rental family. That doesn't seem like a director nominee. It seems more like a screenplay movie. But yeah, this movie this year is kind of the best picture lineup is kind of like lacking with female director movies. We don't have like an obvious like woman to be nominated, so we might get an all male lineup again. But Mona Vaspel is probably like the woman I'd say has the best chance of getting in. Number 9, I have Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein. If the movie's in, maybe he gets in. Who knows? And then Luca Guadagnino for After the Hunt, probably not. Other people I don't even have John. I'm not even gonna mention John M. Chu because he's just not gonna get in. He was nowhere near getting in for the first movie. It's just not their style to nominate like the really big blockbuster type movies. Any other ones in my picture lineup that I want to talk about? I don't think Delivering Me Fenor is going to be best director. Neither is Rental Family. So yeah, that's all. That's all for best director. Now it's going to best actress. I have Amanda Seyfried out front for The Testament of Van Lee. I don't know who's winning best actress. In fact, I actually don't know who's winning any of the acting categories. But maybe she can get in. Maybe she can. I mean, she's the lead of the Testament of Van Lee, so she's gonna be singing. But yeah, no clue who's winning. Renata Rines was going to get nominated for Sentimental Value. Maybe she should be number 1 because I think she's the most likely to be nominated. But yeah, Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. She could give a great performance. Maybe get nominated even if the movie's not in Best Picture. But again, that could also be a bad thing because when your movie is not in Best Picture, you may not always be safe to get in. Even if you got in a repeat cursor like Lady Gaga or Viola Davis or Delroy didn't get everything. But yeah, I have them all in for now. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I don't have that movie. Wait, was that movie on my Best Picture 20? Oh yes, it was. Oh wait, I completely forgot to talk about Hamnet and this thing on. But yeah, Hamnet's the new Chloe Zhao movie. Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal are in it. It's about the parents. It's about Shakespeare and his wife grieving their child. And then Is This Thing On is the new Bradley Cooper movie from Searchlight, starring Will Arnett, Laura Dern, and I think Bradley Cooper is also in it. So yeah, those two were. I completely forgot about those, but yeah. But yeah, I have Jessie Buckley getting in for Hamnet. It'll probably be a big showy performance. She's gonna be crying for most of the movie. But again, if the movie's just like nowhere near Best Picture, maybe she can miss. Number 5, this was tough, but this was tough between Cynthia Erivo and Emma Stone. We're gonna get to original song when we get to that. It was tough. I was debating between Emma Stone and Cynthia Erivo. Before I had Emma Stone, just because Begonia I think is gonna be the bigger contender. I think she shaves her head in it. But I heard she may be campaigning supporting, so it may not be like 100% a lead performance. Maybe she's just in lead because of her being a well-known name. But Cynthia Erivo, if they snub Wicked in multiple categories, I could see the acting categories being some of them. However, I feel like the precursors, I feel like she's gonna get Globe, Critics' Choice, SAG just fine, and then BAFTA is really gonna be the question. If she misses BAFTA, I'd say she misses Oscar. But if she gets BAFTA, I'd say she gets Oscar. A lot of people try to compare her last year to Margot Robbie and Barbie. I never bought into that because I thought what she was doing, it was way more compared to what Margot Robbie did. And then this movie, she's going to be doing a lot too. She has her whole No Good Deed song. That song is such a banger. I cannot wait to see it. She also has a new song. She also has her new song, which apparently brought this set, made everyone tear up on set. I don't know if it's going to be better than No Good Deed. That song is amazing. Cannot wait to see her perform it in the movie. And that might be her Oscar scene. The Oscars may not be able to resist nominating her if that scene is as amazing as I think it could be. But yeah, these two are very close. I'm going to go with Erivo for now. I also have Wicked for getting more. I also have Wicked for Good getting more nominations that I maybe should have it getting because it is a sequel, but there are some categories where I'm not quite sure where it would miss. So yeah, I have her in for now, but Emma Stone can maybe get in. If she is supporting, I may actually predict her. But for now, I have to have her out of lead. Tessa Thompson for Hedda. I think that's a Nia DaCosta movie. But yeah, she's there. Sydney Sweeney for Christy. It's a biopic performance, but she's definitely been in the news recently for stuff that I won't get into, like the whole advertisement. I won't get into that. Maybe will that hurt her? I don't know. So yeah. Emma Mackey for Ellen McKay. That one also had a trailer yesterday. I think it looks like kind of like a Hallmark-esque. I mean, it kind of does look like an Oscar bait crowd pleaser, but it kind of could also be a little Hallmarky, I guess. The poster makes it look like a Hallmark movie or like a Lifetime movie. But yeah. And Jennifer Lawrence and Dime Love. I don't understand why people think she's gonna get nominated. I feel like that movie's just gonna be too out there for the Oscars. Wait, no, I'm gonna get to supporting actress when I get to that. But there's one actress from Ellen McKay that I may have left out by mistake. But that category is pretty crowded. Supporting actress. Now let's talk about Best Actor. I have Timothée Chalamet up front for Marty Supreme. Again, not sure who's winning. Not sure who's even locked to be nominated. For The Kiss of the Spider Woman, I think she's supporting, but I don't know. I don't really know much about that movie. But I think most of the prediction lists I've seen have her in supporting, so I don't have her on my list at all. But yeah, because I limit my outside shots to 5 in a category, and she's not one of those 5, and I don't even have her in the other like main top 5. But now we're on Best Actor. I have Timothée Chalamet out front. Maybe he could win, maybe not. Maybe it could be like payback for him not winning for A Complete Unknown. But Adrian Brody probably deserved that win, though, to be honest. Can't say though I haven't seen any of them. I did so bad last year with trying to watch movies from like the Oscar season. I watched a couple, but not as much as I hoped. But yeah, I think Jeremy Allen White. Now we have Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. If the movie's in, he's gonna get in. He could maybe win. He's playing Bruce Springsteen. Like, of course, that's tailor-made for Oscars. Then we have George Clooney and Jay Kelly. He's playing Jay Kelly, and Jay Kelly, he'll probably get nominated. I can maybe see him being like a weirdo snub, but I think he's gonna get nominated. He seems to be. He's the titular character. I don't know if it's the same as like a DiCaprio in Killers or Robert De Niro in The Irishman, because he is the titular character. Yeah, and he's also won 2 Oscars before. He won one for acting for Syriana, I think, in supporting actor, and then he also won in the Best Picture category for Argo because he was a producer on that. So yeah, maybe this could be like welcome back George Clooney, and he can get nominated. Then I have Brendan Fraser in Rental Family. He looks really good in that movie from the trailer. Could be again another Brendan Fraser Oscar nomination after his win for The Whale. So yeah, and if the movie's the Best Picture, he'll probably get in. And number 5, I have Jesse Plemons for Begonia. I think he is the lead in Begonia. So if the movie's in, he'll probably be in. Unless the category's super crowded, then he probably would. Then he could maybe miss. And this category does seem to be very crowded. So, yeah. I'm going to keep him in for now, though. I have Begonia in top 5. Yeah, we're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan in just a second. That top 5, I don't think it's solidified, but I kind of feel like okay about it right now. Because again, Michael B. Jordan, I could see him being a snub. I think he'll get Globes. I think Michael B. Jordan will get Globes, Critics' Choice, SAG. I think he'll get all those pretty easily, actually. And then maybe miss BAFTA and maybe miss Oscar. Or maybe he does get BAFTA and he'll still have a snub anyway. Or maybe he gets everything and gets in. It does kind of feel weird that you'd be nominating Sinners for so many awards and he doesn't get to be along for the ride, and he's not like a producer or anything on the movie either, so he wouldn't be getting any nominations. So it would just purely be for acting. Come on, did you really think that was going to happen? Of course not. Now, Michael B. Jordan, I mean, he does play 2 characters, and he is in a movie that I have winning Best Picture, but I can maybe see him being like, I know I hate this comparison, but maybe he could be like the Margot Robbie and Barbie of the season. I hate that comparison so much because of how like so many people tried to force that comparison with Arriva last year and it just didn't work. But I think for Michael B. Jordan, it may make more sense. But yeah. Then I have Dwayne The Rock Johnson for the Smashing Machine. If the movie's in, he's going to win. I feel pretty confident about that. But if the movie is not in, he'll probably miss. He could maybe get like a Globe nomination or something, or maybe like a SAG or something. But we'll see. Then I have Wagner Moore for The Secret Agent. I could see him being Globe and BAFTA nominee. But except for that, I'm not sure what the Oscars will go for it. Unless it's a Best Picture. Then I have Colin Farrell for Ballad of a Small Player because he's Colin Farrell. Willem Dafoe in Late Fame because he's Willem Dafoe. Don't really know who else to predict for Best Actor. International movies usually never release, and where I go to the movies, usually always limited release. Now I got Supporting Actress. Yeah, I don't have Jamie Lee Curtis listed for Element K. She may get like a SAG or something though. I should keep an eye out for her. I'll have her at number 11. On number 11 for Jamie Lee Curtis. But no, actually, maybe she should be at number 10. If Smashing Machine's a thing though, Emily Blunt's gonna happen. And I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna be nothing but a SAG nominee. Is not gonna like she get just SAG and that's it. Like it won't be like a BAFTA or a Globes. Well, How to Train Your Dragon is not gonna be an Oscar movie, aside from maybe visual effects or maybe score. Yeah, supporting actress. I have Ariana Grande out front for Wicked for Good. I don't even know if she's allowed to be nominated, but I don't know who's winning this, and I think she would make sense to win. And yeah, she probably would have won if Zoe Saldana wasn't nominated for Amelia Perez. It's a shame she couldn't win at least one precursor last year. No Critics' Choice, no SAG. It was just Saldana sweeping the whole time. So hopefully she gets her due and finally wins this year. I do think if one of the two actors were to still get in, like Grande may be more likely than Arrivo because Glinda's character has a way more like her character changes is very different compared to her character in Act 1. Like in Act 1 she's like very funny, like the comedic character. But in the beginning you kind of see like the Glinda that you're gonna see in this movie. She's gonna be more like politically savvy, and she's gonna have like a more like in-depth character. She's also gonna have her new song. She already has an amazing song with Thank Goodness, which is gonna be the opener for Wicked for Good, and is the opener for Act 2 of the musical. So yeah, I think Grande makes sense to have in right now, and I think because I have no clue who is gonna win, I'm gonna have her at number 1. I also have Elle Fanning getting in for Sentimental Value. I don't think she's going to win, but she'll probably get nominated. Same thing with the other actress with Sentimental Value. Inga Ubsdottir Lillies. Totally mispronounced that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think they're both going to get in. I'm going to try to pronounce. I'm going to try next video to have her pronunciation down, so that way I don't keep butchering it the whole season. Yeah, hopefully we can only hope. But last year we saw Dune 2 getting snubbed for a ton of things. But that wasn't an acting contender to begin with. Yeah, I think again, Glinda and Elphaba are their performances. Cynthia and Ariana's performances will probably be good enough to nominate. So yeah. Number 4, I have Thomasin McKenzie for The Testament of Anne. I don't actually know what her role is in this movie, but maybe if they love the movie so much, she can get in. So, yeah. And number 5, I have Iowa Debris in After the Hunt. She plays like a colleague. She plays like a student or aspiring professor, and she accuses Andrew Garfield's character of assault. It could be a Oscar Beatty performance from Iowa Debris. She's never been nominated for before, but she's gotten a lot of love on shows like The Bear and other movies and shows. See, maybe she can get nominated. I can see her getting some precursors. Again, if the movie's not in Best Picture, I do kind of question it. I can maybe see them just going for Julia Roberts, but maybe they go for both of them. I don't think they're going to go for all three of the actors. We're gonna talk about Andrew Garfield when we get to supporting actor. Yeah. Number 6, I have Laura Dern for Jay Kelly. I think she's playing Jay Kelly's no, Adam Sandler's the manager. She's not Jay Kelly's wife. I'm pretty sure. What is her character name? Look. Oh, she's Jay's publicist. All right. Don't mess that up. So yeah. So she's Jay Kelly's publicist. Could be a good performance. Last time she was in a Baumbach movie, she won. So yeah. It was for Marriage Story, for those who don't know. So yeah. Number 7, I have Mari Yamamoto for Rental Family. Again, could be like a big performance from that movie. I do think the main supporting player from that movie is gonna be the Akira Moto, who we're gonna talk about when we get to supporting actor. But she could get into. The trailer didn't quite convince me of that just yet, but yeah, we'll see. Glenn Close for Wake of Dead Men and Knives Out Mystery. She is Glenn Close. She's been nominated 8 times and still hasn't won. So yeah, maybe this can be your final. Maybe 9th time is a go. Maybe she can win for this one. I still don't know. We'll talk. We'll see if the movie's good. Knives Out hasn't been nominated for any acting categories yet, so we'll see if Glenn Close can break that curse with this movie, or we'll see if nothing happens with the movie and it's just a lone screenplay movie like all of the other Knives Out movies are. But yeah, maybe she can get in because she is Glenn Close. Haley Steinfeld for Sinners. Maybe she can get like a SAG nomination or something, or Critics' Choice. I think those two are gonna nominate Sinners for everything they possibly can. And I feel like they would nominate Haley Steinfeld instead of Wunmi Mosaku. Although I would prefer for Mosaku to get nominated. I thought she was the supporting actress standout of the movie. But Haley Steinfeld is the bigger name, so maybe they'll go for her instead. I thought she was great too, but I thought Mosaku was better. But I have neither. I'm getting it right now. And number 10, I have Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine. If The Rock gets in, or if the movie's in Best Picture and The Rock wins, then she can tag along. But yeah, this isn't even everyone. Jamie Lee Curtis and Ellen McKay is right out there. Same thing with Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners. So yeah. Next we have supporting actor. Again, I don't know who's winning this one either. I think it could be. I don't know who they would push more. I feel like critics may go more for Mosaku. Although I do think Haley Steinfeld was like the runner-up, or she made it even won at the Astra Mid-Season Awards, so maybe they'll go for her instead. Although I think they were both nominated for that, but I think Steinfeld won. Mosaku was a runner-up. I would hope they push Wunmi Mosaku instead, but they may still push Haley Steinfeld because she's a bigger name. But in Sinners, you'll see I have 2 actors getting nominated. Although I'm stuck between Adam Sandler and Stellan Skarsgård winning. Adam Sandler's playing Jay Kelly's manager. He's Adam Sandler. You could definitely put he can finally win his Oscar. He's Adam Sandler. He can finally win. It would be a lovely moment. It would be a lovely moment for him to win. Because he's such a great comedic actor as well as dramatic actor with movies like Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems. But they could also award a more veteran actor like Stellan Skarsgård, who I'm pretty sure has never been nominated for an Oscar. This could be an extremely baity role for him, an extremely meaty role. And Cinema Value is a big contender, so maybe he can also win. It could be a fierce race. Maybe Stellan Skarsgård takes Globe and BAFTA, and maybe Adam Sandler takes Critics' Choice and SAG. We'll see. I feel like Adam Sandler is pretty likely to win SAG, and Skarsgård is pretty likely to win BAFTA because is he British? I think. Um, I'm gonna go over what I think is gonna happen at the precursors with Lindo and Keaton. Once I'm done talking about Akira Yamamoto for Rental Family, he seems to be the big supporting player for Rental Family. So aside from Brendan Fraser, he could be the other actor nominated. I think he's playing like the grandfather or something like that. But yeah, there's a scene of him in the trailer of him crying, and I think Brendan Fraser was also in that scene, so that could be his big Oscar moment. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Stellan Skarsgård's Swedish. Why did I think it was like Irish or something? No, because I know the Skarsgård. I know like the brothers. No, like Bill and Alexander Skarsgård are not Irish or British. But all right. But yeah, Akira Moto. I have him getting it for Rental Family. And then we have Double Sinners boys. We have Delroy Lindo and Miles Keaton. I feel like if they're gonna do one, it would be Delroy Lindo because he's the bigger name. But then you have Miles Keaton. He's like the standout of the movie, basically. Like I may actually even prefer him to Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I think critics will do a good job at pushing Miles Keaton, and I can also see him being a SAG. I could also see him getting Critics' Choice SAG. Delroy Lindo, I think. Here is the potential. Here's the potential precursor thing I could see with the Sinners boys. I think Delroy Lindo can get Globe. I think both can get Critics' Choice. I think, again, Critics' Choice is going to nominate Sinners for everything they can. So they'll nominate both Keaton and Lindo, I believe. Again, I think SAG is really going to love Sinners too. They may both get SAG. And then maybe either Lindo or none of them get BAFTA. If none of them got BAFTA, they got to be a little concerned. But if Lindo got BAFTA, I'd predict him. And if there wasn't another like person who had more like look at precursors like a Jeremy Strong or something, then I'd predict Keaton still. If Keaton gets in at the Globes, that's going to be the hint for me that he's going to happen that he's just going to get in everywhere. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we'll just have to see. I do have Lindo above Keaton because he is the bigger name. He's the more respected actor. But Keaton is like, I think he's the standout of the movie. He also has that amazing "I Lied to You" scene, which can maybe be enough to get him nominated. But he's also extremely young and he's a newcomer. They may not go for that, or maybe they will. I don't know if he's comparable to like a Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere. I feel like she was more like she had more roles at the time. Maybe he'll be comparable to something like Lucas Hedges in Manchester by the Sea, but we'll see. My number 6 is Jeremy Strong for Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. He's playing Springsteen's manager. I'm pretty sure they actually had a good relationship, so he's not going to be like an evil maniac like the Elvis manager. So yeah, the trailer though, I don't know if he's going to have like any particular like Oscar-y moments, but we'll see because it was only a trailer. Andrew Garfield for After the Hunt, maybe he can get in, but I did hear like all of his scenes in the trailer were basically like all. Apparently, the After the Hunt script leaked, and most of his scenes from the script were in the trailer. So maybe he's not as big on screen time, or maybe the movie, or maybe like it was just the script was just like a first draft, and he actually does get more to do, like way more to do in the movie. But for now, I feel like if the movie is missing, he'll probably just miss. I did hear his character is very unlikable, but that's not. They'll nominate unlikable characters. They'll nominate like Guy Pearce's character last year in The Brutals was like a rapist. They nominated like Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List. He was a literal Nazi. They'll nominate actual like comic book supervillains like Heath Ledger as the Joker. So I feel like that's not as much of a detriment, but I feel like he can maybe still miss. Speaking of unlikable characters, Jude Law in The Wizard of the Kremlin. He's playing Putin. If it's like a big transformative role, maybe he can get in. We'll see. I think the movie is premiering at like one of the festivals, like TIFF or Venice. I think it would fit more for Venice. I feel it, but we'll see. Then we gotta talk about Jonathan Bailey. Jonathan Bailey and Wicked for Good. He did get a SAG nomination last year for part 1. This one, in part 2, he may actually have a shot at getting a SAG nomination again. Yeah, SAG love Wicked. And like he was able to get SAG for the first movie, and in this one he actually does more compared to the first movie. The first movie has that whole dancing through life scene. That's like his big scene. In this one, he's gonna have like an actual character arc. He's part of the captain of the Wizard's Guard, and he's gonna have to like choose between like, does he want to stay on the Wizard's side and hunt down Elphaba, or does he want to betray the Wizard? That'll be like a whole character. And way later in the story, we'll go another direction with the character, which I'm not gonna spoil. But if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, his character is gonna have a way bigger role than he did in the first movie, so maybe he can get a SAG nomination again. I don't know if the Oscars are gonna go for him though. We'll see. Number 10, I have Stephen Graham for Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. He's playing Bruce Springsteen's father. Oh yeah, about Jonathan Bailey. Please don't spoil what I was alluding to in the chat. Like, please don't. But again, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But yes, Stephen Graham, he's playing Bruce Springsteen's like father, who he had a complicated relationship with. He wasn't really in the trailer that much, but that could be a false representation of the movie. Maybe his role's huge. Who knows? Maybe he gets in over Jeremy Strong, or maybe they get in together. Who knows? Again, it's super early. It's still before the festivals. Now we're in the screenplays. Original screenplay. I think it'll be Sinners versus Sentimental Value. I have Sinners out front because I have the movie winning Best Picture. So I think it makes sense for it to win screenplay. It has great dialogue. It has, it blends multiple genres together. And this will be the third Oscar for Ryan Coogler of that evening. Oh, I forgot to mention, in Best Director, if he wins Best Director, he'll be the first Black director to ever win in that category, which is wild. But in 98 years, we still haven't gotten that. But it's about time. And hopefully it happens at least before the 100th ceremony. But Sinners winning. I could see that winning Critics' Choice in the WGA. And in Sentimental Value, I could see taking Globe and BAFTA. Or maybe it doesn't take Globe. Maybe like Begonia takes Globe or something. But I think it'll win the BAFTA because it doesn't have to compete with Begonia there. Jay Kelly, I think, is going to get nominated. It's a big Best Picture movie. Marty Supreme. No, Rental Family, I think if it gets Best Picture, it gets Screenplay. Certain analogies are really bad. Or at least, yeah, analogies are bad. But yeah, as long as Rental Family's in Best Picture, I think it gets Screenplay. And Marty Supreme, I think if it gets Best Picture, it makes sense to have in Screenplay. Maybe it could miss. Maybe if any of those miss, there would maybe put money on it being Marty Supreme. Actually, no, I wouldn't put money on it. Anything like this. But yeah. This category is pretty crowded up, though, because outside it was just an accident. Again, it would make sense for that to get Screenplay with Picture, but this category is very crowded. International Best Picture nominees, though, usually do get Screenplay. Zone of Interest got Screenplay. All Quiet got Screenplay. Anatomy of Fall won. Roma, Parasite obviously won. Roma got nominated. I'm Still Here didn't get nominated, but that was like an extremely late edition. Like, none of us even thought that was even close to getting nominated for Best Picture, but it happened. So, yeah. So that was an example of an international movie getting in with a very limited package because it didn't get director either. It was just picture, actress, and international, which it won. But yeah, then The Testament of Anne Lee, that is a musical. They'll nominate some musicals like La La Land. They nominated Emilia Perez last year. Yeah, that piece of garbage of a movie. That was an adapted. La La Land was an original. But with this competition, though, I can't quite fit it in my top 5. And my number 8, I have After the Hunt, which will probably be a screenplay-heavy movie, but I don't have it in my Best Picture 5, and the category is also crowded, so I have that missing. Then we have adapted. Begonia out front. Makes sense to have it out front, I guess. Don't know if we'll actually win or not, but this category is very bleak. Wake of Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery, probably going to get nominated. They nominated the last 2 Knives Out movies. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, probably going to get nominated. This is one of the few Best Picture nominees I have in here. Well, only 2 Best Picture nominees then. Begonia and Deliver Me From Nowhere. Because I don't have One Battle After Another in. But the category is so weak, so if I try to take out One Battle After Another, I have to get something else, and I wouldn't be too confident. Ballad of a Small Player, I have that getting in. This is the new Edward Berger movie. And then One Battle After Another, I have that getting screenplay. This is one of the 2 categories I have it in. Again, if it misses picture, I really doubt it gets screenplay, but I don't really know what else to do here. I'm not sure if they're going to go with The Wizard, The Kremlin, or Frankenstein, or Hamnet. Hamnet and Frankenstein, I don't think happen unless they're Best Picture movies. I could say the same thing with One Battle After Another, though, but it is Paul Thomas Anderson. He did get a lone screenplay. Wait, no, it wasn't lone screenplay, because we got costumes, too. He did get a screenplay nomination for Inherent Vice, though. So, yeah, maybe the writing can still be good. I don't know. I feel like if the movie missed Best Picture, it'd be because of the screenplay. But again, the category is so weak that I don't really know what else I would pick. So I'm gonna have it in for now, and if it misses, it misses. New category, Best Casting. This is actually the first time I'm ever predicting this category in my my live streams. So yeah, this category is this category's been around at the BAFTAs a couple of times, but for a couple of years, but yeah, this is the first time the Oscars are going to be doing it, and so yeah, let's get right started. I have Sinners at number 1. They got a lot of talented actors in it. Michael B. Jordan, Miles Keaton, Omi Masaku, Delroy Lindo, Haley Steinfeld, Jack O'Connell. Great cast, great ensemble. All the roles were very well cast. We're going to have it at number 1. Marty Scream, they probably have to cast a lot of characters in that. You have to cast Timothée Chalamet, Tyler the Creator, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin O'Leary. Deliver Me From Nowhere, you have to cast Bruce Springsteen. You have to cast a real-life music artist. Rental Family, you have to cast Brendan Fraser. Cinema Valley, you have to cast a whole family. This is my top 5. I don't know what else to do. Wicked for Good, we already cast all the characters, but all the actors are great. All the roles are very well cast. Some people might not say the same about Michelle Yeoh or Jeff Goldblum, but I thought they did great in the first movie. Hopefully they do good in this movie. Obviously, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were amazing. Jonathan Bailey was great. Marissa Bodie and Ethan Slater were good in the screen time that they had. I think their performances are really going to shine in this movie. I'm not sure I'm not sure if Nessa Rose is necessarily getting any new scenes, but her song is very good. It's not on any of the soundtracks, not on any of the original Broadway soundtracks, but it's a very good scene. Her only really scene in Act 2 of the musical. We'll see if they add on to that in the movie. I don't want to say the song name because it may spoil something about the character. I really want to keep spoilers to a minimum. This is the one movie I know a lot about. Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. You had to cast a lot of actors in the movie alongside Daniel Craig. You also had to cast Josh Brolin, Glenn Close, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spaney, ton of people. Jay Kelly, you had to cast a Hollywood actor. You had to cast him with another Hollywood actor. And you had to cast Hollywood actors to play his managing team. After the Hunt, you had to cast Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and Iowa Debris. And Begonia, you have to cast bald Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, and they're probably going to give good performances. I'm sorry, these explanations are terrible, but I don't know what to do with this category. This is the first time we're having it, and it's crazy. Another first-time category with Best International Feature. Well, not first time for the Oscars, but the first time I'm predicting it this season. Cinema Value is going to win, probably. It was just an accident, probably going to get nominated if it's submitted. Again, it's still question mark whether all these will be submitted, but if they have, they'll probably get in. The Secret Agent probably get nominated if Brazil submits it. I have Seurat, and then Nouvelle Vague, which is the new Richard Linklater movie. I think that's in French. So yeah, it's in French, and it's from a big director. Number 6 is No Other Choice. This is a Park Chan-wook movie, but the Oscars haven't nominated any of his movies. They didn't even nominate Decision to Leave, and that got nominated everywhere. So I'm not gonna predict that just yet. And then Sound of Falling. I think that's from Germany. I'm not sure. I don't do as much research as I should. The best documentary feature. Another first time for this season. Not first time in general, like casting, but it's more like international feature that I've never predicted before in this season. The Perfect Neighbor I have up front. This is a Netflix one, I'm pretty sure. 2,000 Meters to Andrzejewska is from the director of 20 Days of Mariupol, which won. Obviously. Deaf President Now, probably about like deaf rights. Assuming. Seeds and The Alabama Solution. Mr. Nobody Against Putin is probably about Putin, probably a big middle finger to him. Hopefully it's not like a pro-Putin glazing documentary, but we'll see. Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk. I think this one's about Israel-Palestine. And the subject of it was killed. Very unfortunate. Maybe they can nominate this to honor her memory, but yeah, we'll see. And then Cutting Through Rocks I have as another outside shot. No clue what that one's about. Best Animated Feature. This is the weakest this category's been in a long time. Literally the lineup is like so bleak. Like, my goodness. Scarlet I have at number 1. This is from the director of Belle and Mirai. Mirai got nominated. I think this one's going to a festival, actually. I think it's like TIFF or something. It's going to be at TIFF or Telluride or Venice. I think it's TIFF. So maybe if it's very great, it can win. Zootopia 2 is probably going to get nominated. I don't think it's going to win, but yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be like a winning movie. But the first movie won. This one's going to make a crap ton of money. This one's going to make over $1 billion. So yeah. I'm not sure if we're probably going to get another like independent winner. We're probably not going to get like a Disney or Pixar winner. Or maybe K-pop wins, but we'll get to K-pop soon. Arco is... And that one's Neon. I think Natalie Portman's a producer on that. So maybe that could be enough for it to win. K-pop Demon Hunters. This movie's breaking all records on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it is eligible. So maybe this can win. Maybe this can be the winner. And Netflix can get their second win in this category. Yeah, their second one. Because they won previously for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And this movie is probably the most talked about animated movie of the year so far. Aside from one that we'll get to. If you know, you know. I had to do that little foreshadowing. Elio at number 5. I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on Elio. I could totally see them snubbing it. It was Pixar's biggest flop at the box office. But again, the reviews aren't like quite bad enough for it to like miss. And like, again, the competition's bleak. Like it's not like a super crowded year yet. That is. So I'm gonna have it in for now. It is Pixar. Pixar rarely misses in this category. The last time they missed, I think, was in 2016 with Finding Dory. Last time they missed for an original movie, I don't even know if they've ever missed with an original movie. I know Lightyear doesn't count because that's technically part of the Toy Story universe, even if it's not like a main Toy Story movie. I think The Good Dinosaur was the last one, but that year they had Inside Out, which won. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep Elio in for now, but I could totally see them snubbing it if the competition becomes too much. Little Emil, the character of Rain, I think that's like a smaller one. Heard of? Maybe you could get it in. Who knows? In Your Dreams is Netflix. The Twits is Netflix. It's based on Roald Dahl's book. And then Neza 2 made $2 billion in China. Or maybe it was in another country. Oh my god, I'm so discriminatory. Oh my god. Yeah, it made $2 billion. It made $2 billion overseas, and none of its money came from America just yet. They're releasing it in America soon. A24 is. Yeah. Best cinematography. I just noticed an issue with the film editing, with the colon being spaced out. Oh, phew. Okay, that was being racist there for a second. But yeah, I have Sinners winning. The cinematography in that movie is beyond amazing. If it's gonna win Best Picture, it's gonna win cinematography. Maybe even if it loses Best Picture, it still wins because the cinematography just looks that amazing. The cinematographer, I want to see Sinners cinematographer. Autumn Darrell Arkapow. She would be the first woman to win this category. Also, the first woman of color, obviously the first woman of color, and the first woman in general to win in this category. Begonia seems to have that Lanthimos style cinematography. I love the cinematography in Poor Things, so hopefully, and the cinematography in this movie looks very good so far from the trailer, so it'll probably get nominated. Marty Supreme is from Darius Khondji, who got nominated for Bardo. He's probably got nominated for other stuff before. But yeah, it's a period piece. Frankenstein is Dan Lawson, who got nominated for Nightmare Alley and The Shape of Water. I think he's probably got another nominations, but he seems to be like Del Toro's main guy, main DP. The Testament of Anne Lee, a musical period movie. I'm going to have that in. Hamnet by Lukasz Zal, who got nominated for Ida and Cold War. And again, it's another period movie. Nouvelle Vague, I think, is black and white. It's a black and white international movie. They love to nominate black and white, and they love to nominate their international movies in the category. So maybe that could be a nominee. Else? Jay Kelly, About Hollywood. The cinematography looks pretty good. And then Springsteen Delivered Me From Nowhere also looks pretty good. Wicked for Good, I'm not going to predict that. I actually think the cinematography doesn't look as glaringly, not great in the trailer, based on the trailer. I thought the cinematography for the first movie is a bit overblown, and this one actually seems to look a little better, more color and stuff. Although the first movie already had lots of color, just looked a little gray to some people. I thought it didn't look that great to me. It didn't look that gray. They were definitely because of how colorful the sets and the costumes were. But yeah, not as color popping as The Wizard of Oz was. But yeah, I don't think Wicked for Good is gonna get nominated, especially the sequel, and the first one didn't get in. So yeah. Best film editing, yeah, there's a space between the colon and that, but that's a very that's a very small issue. Sinners, again, I have that winning. It seems to be a common trend that the Best Picture winners have been winning. I think that's bound to break eventually. I don't think that's a new stat that we have to take seriously every single year, but Sinners does have very good editing, so it wouldn't make me upset if it won. But yeah, even with the whole Best Picture thing, Everything Everywhere and Oppenheimer were the most edited. I think the only movie so far that has only won because it was a Best Picture winner was Anora, but yeah, Marty Supreme is, I think there's sports in it. Probably have good editing. Jay Kelly's probably gonna be big contender, probably gonna get editing. Begonia, probably editing. Sentimental Value, big contender. This is actually my top 5 for Best Picture, just swapped around. So yeah. Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, maybe that could get editing. They did nominate Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis, but they didn't nominate A Complete Unknown, which this biopic actually seems to be more in line with A Complete Unknown than Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis. One Bell After Another, if that's in Best Picture, that could get editing. It is an action kind of movie with guns. And then After the Hunt, I think that's a sort of thriller. Best Production Design, I have no clue what's gonna win Production Design. It could be anything. I have Wicked for Good out front. The first movie won. Originally I wasn't so sure, but they do seem to have a lot more newer sets in this one. I mean, they obviously have the Munchkinland set and the Emerald City set, which were both incredible. But before that, I was wondering, are those sets going to be more of the same? I know they're obviously going to have the Kiyomoko Castle, which is going to be great. But aside from that, are they going to be more of the same? But they do seem to have more newer locations in this movie. Elphaba's going to have her own tree house hideout, I guess. And then Glinda's going to have her own apartment or penthouse in the Emerald City. We're gonna see like the Munchkinland home again, Alphabet Childhood home again. So yeah, maybe it could get production design again, but we'll see. The following category, I'm actually more convinced that Wicked could win again, and that particular person could get their second consecutive Oscar. We'll get to that when we get to that. Frankenstein, probably again, Del Toro movie, probably gonna have insane sets. Shape of Water won. Nightmare Alley was nominated, and this one's probably also gonna get nominated. Not sure if it's gonna win if it's not in Best Picture. If it is the Best Picture, I'll predict it wins. Usually with production design movies, they're always tied to Best Picture. The last Best Picture nominee that lost was Great Gatsby. Like even when we saw it with Babylon, that's won everywhere, and that still lost to All Quiet at the Oscars in this category. So they do seem to like to go with their Best Picture nominees a lot. So yeah, still think it will get nominated. Those Sinners, maybe that could win. The like whole juke joint was very well designed. There's like the whole town which looked very well designed. So yeah, I think Sinners can maybe win. Begonia. There's like some of the shots of like the house that Jesse Plemons and the other guy were in, based on that trailer, look very good. Unless the most movies do get production design, I don't think this one's gonna be as crazy though, because this is gonna have like houses and stuff. Compare it to like The Favorite, which was a period movie like set in England. You had like the big castle, and Poor Things, which was just an insane production design, which justifiably won. That year, you also had Barbie, though, which also Barbie Land looked insane, but I think you had to give it to Poor Things. Oh, I think I hear footsteps. Hold on. Sorry, my dog came upstairs, and I had to get her back downstairs. So yeah, I can always hear those footsteps. So yeah. But anyway, I'm back, and let's get back to production design. So my number 5 is The Testament of Anne Lee, period musical. Just have that in. And number 6, I have Marty Supreme, period movie. Number 7, I have Avatar: Fire and Ash. If I had that in Best Picture, I'd probably have that in. They did create all the environments. So yeah. And number 8, I have Hamnet, like production design movie. Costume design, number 1, I have Wicked for Good. Paul Tazewell may win a second consecutive Oscar, and the costumes look just as incredible as they did in the first movie from the trailers. The new Elphaba looks great. The new blue dress for Glinda looks great. The whole Captain of the Guard outfit for Fiera looks great. The new costumes for the Wizard, Madame Morrible, Nessa Rose, Bach, all of them look amazing. You saw most of them in that little like snip, like the little teaser that they had a whole day before the trailer came out. So yeah, I can totally see him winning, and the costumes are all different from the first movie. It's not like everyone's wearing the same exact costumes again. Where we're gonna see like the pink dress from Glinda again, like towards the end of the movie. But for most of it, it's gonna be the new blue dress. I'm pretty sure, and I think like the wizard, we're gonna get like his original costume at some point based on what we saw in the trailer. But we're also gonna see like this new like poppy coat. This looks great. Frankenstein probably gonna get nominated. Sinners gonna get nominated. People may be wondering if that could win because of Ruth Carter. She did win for the Black Panther movies, but those are like way more like showy and more insane with the costumes than Sinners is. But Sinners does have very good costumes. Yeah, I did talk about those trailers earlier. I think they both look very good. Then I have The Testament of Van Lee, again, period musical. And number 5, I have Hamnet, another period movie. I have a lot of period pieces in this category. Marty Supreme, period piece. Kiss of the Spider-Woman, musical. Begonia, contemporary. But the costumes don't look as showy as they did in Poor Things or The Favorite. It might be. No, I think it's song. I think song's the safest. But costumes, I don't think it's gonna get the Dune 2 treatment. And they're gonna snub it again. I feel like they have to nominate it again, right? I feel like if they snubbed it, it'd be very weird. So yeah. Now we have makeup and hairstyling. This one's kind of interesting. I have Frankenstein winning. Yeah, to create like whole Frankenstein's monster. That'll probably be some showy work there. Sinners is probably gonna get nominated. Vampires. And this movie is in Best Picture. If it wasn't in Best Picture, I'd probably have it out, but because it is in Best Picture, I have it in. Wicked for Good, I think you have to have that in, because they're gonna have Tin Man and no. Well, the Tin Man and Scarecrow are gonna be in it. I won't go too further on that, but the Tin Man and Scarecrow are gonna be in the movie in some capacity, and I'm pretty sure they are bringing them to life with prosthetics and some CGI. Yeah, I think CGI is going to be used to like enhance the performances, but they are going to be using prosthetics mainly as well. I have seen like some of like what these designs look like. If you guys want to search them up on your own time, you can. I think they look very good for the most part. I think they could justify this movie getting nominated. The first movie got in with just mainly hair, and they had Elphaba green. But this one's going to be more crazy with the Scarecrow and the Tin Man. So yeah. I think the Tin Man design is like 100 out of 10 from like what I saw, but the Scarecrow design I think looks pretty good too. There's like one like a little thing that looks kind of weird is that the Scarecrow does have like hair. I mean, it's like, and I think it's supposed to be straw, but yeah, you guys can look up the designs on your own time if you want spoilers. Because if you see the Scarecrow design, you're gonna be able to connect the dots right away. But if not, just leave it vague. But yeah, Scarecrow and Tin Man are going to be in the movie. All of Dorothy and her friends are going to be in the movie. I won't say how. Obviously, I won't say how they're going to be in it, but they're in it. A lot of like great predictions there. I'm not sure about How to Train Your Dragon or Fantastic Four. Those are probably going to be like big in visual effects, but I don't know about costumes. Fantastic Four would be a pretty cool nomination in production design. Actually, the whole like Baxter Building would be very cool. The Smashing Machine, again, they did slight prosthetics on The Rock, I'm pretty sure, and they look very good. So I could see that getting in. Number 5, I have The Wizard of the Kremlin. They're probably going to be transforming Jude Law for him to play Putin. So yeah, that gets you nominated. Wolfman. I don't know if they're going to do Wolfman because it was a big flop at the box office. Wasn't very well received. But there probably are prosthetics that you could nominate. I hate. Well, so if that appears on the short list or something, maybe that could get in. But I don't even like the design of the Wolfman that looks. It looks more like a man wolf than it does a wolf man. If you know what I'm saying. I haven't seen the movie, but I have seen the design, and I'm not really crazy about it. It looks more like a man wolf than a wolf man. 28 Years Later has like zombies. I feel like they're not going to go for like horror stuff that's not in Best Picture though. I don't have Frankenstein in Best Picture, but I don't know if that's like horror necessarily. And he probably is in some capacity, but not on the same level of 20 years later or Wolfman. That's also, if that one does appear on the shortlist though, I'll maybe watch out. Yeah. And then Christie is a biopic. I don't think Deliver Me From Nowhere is gonna have crazy enough makeup for it to be nominated. Best visual effects. I think this is my only tech category with all 10. With cinematography of all 10. No. Yeah, this is my first one with 5 outside shots. Wow. Okay, visual effects. Avatar, Fire and Ashes winning. Superman's gonna get nominated. I feel pretty sure about that. Same thing with Fantastic Four. I know they're not doing the greatest at the box office, but I'm not sure if that's gonna matter because the visual effects are good enough to be nominated. Like with Superman, you have like the monsters, you have Superman flying, and then Fantastic Four, you have Galactus, you have the Thing, the Silver Surfer. All of it looked great. Great predictions. Wait, is that 6 movies? Then the only not. Yeah. Either way, great predictions. Full screen. So yeah, I think those 2 should be fine. If the category gets very crowded though, maybe they can miss, but we'll see. Wicked for Good, I have that getting in. The first movie got in, and this one's also gonna have big effects. The first movie have like all the animals. This one's also gonna have animals. Gonna have the Cowardly Lion, the flying monkeys. Again, Tin Man, Scarecrow. I think they are gonna be using some CGI on them, but we'll see. Because we haven't really seen them in like footage aside from like the back of them when they were talking to the wizard. But yeah, Avatar's gonna win easy. We know nothing else is possible. And number 5, a little tough, but I do have How to Train Your Dragon winning because they did have to create like CG. They had to create all the dragons, and I haven't heard anything bad about the visual effects, so I'll have that in for now. The Lost Bus. This is the new Paul Greengrass movie with Matthew McConaughey. I think it's about like Matthew McConaughey plays the bus driver who he has to like drive all these kids who are in like a bus fire. There's like a big like wildfire going on. He has to drive them home. So maybe they're like gonna create fire to like maybe they're gonna create fire using the visual effects. Maybe it can be in the same vein as like a Deepwater Horizon type nomination. But 13 Lives, but it could also be maybe a 13 Lives which didn't get in. So we'll see. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I don't feel like that's gonna get nominated. It might. I mean, there's probably CGI there to justify it getting nominated, but I feel like the movie just wasn't as talked about as much. Dead Reckoning got in, but that was like the first. That and the sound nomination were the first nominations for the franchise, and it was right off of Top Gun Maverick. Like the previous year, there was Top Gun Maverick, which was nominated for Best Picture and other categories. Yeah, it might be. We'll see. But yeah, Final Reckoning maybe, but I'm not sure. Tron Ares, they didn't nominate all the other Tron movies, but the visual effects in this one do look pretty cool from what I've seen from the trailers. So yeah, maybe that could get in, but we'll see. F1, I'm not sure where the visual effects are in that. I've seen some people have it in. It's maybe like Top Gun Maverick where they're like very well hidden, but like where would they use visual effects? Maybe like during the scene where like the whole car is on fire, maybe that's visual effects or maybe that's real. But yeah, they used like I'm not really sure like where the visual effects are. I don't think it's gonna be enough to take out these superhero movies or to take out Wicked. Maybe it could take out How to Train Your Dragon, but yeah. And then number 10, I have Frankenstein again. I'm not quite sure where the visual effects are gonna be in that movie either. But maybe there's probably gonna be a few. Best sound. Sound's actually a tough category. I have Sinners winning. They have music, guns. Yeah. Music and guns. And I have a winning Best Picture. It makes sense for it to win sound. I feel like F1's not going to win sound with just that nomination. Like, it would have to get nominated for something else, too. But I do think that the sound design is good enough for it to win. And it is a racing movie. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. If in Best Picture, that's gonna get sound. Music biopics always get sound. Complete Unknown got sound. Elvis got sound. Bohemian Rhapsody won both sound categories back when they were only 2. Yeah, broke even. F1 broke even at the box office. I feel like it's gonna get nominated for sound. Wicked for and then I have Wicked for getting The Testament of Anne Lee. They always nominate the musicals. They're not gonna snub musicals. They could maybe snub Anne Lee. I feel like Wicked's gonna get in if that's in Best Picture. Like they just have to. And they love to nominate their musicals in sound. Like they even nominated Amelia Perez, which you could have, which like really, but yeah. Avatar: Fire and Ash. That's one I want to predict, but I don't have room for it, so I have to leave it out. But I feel like that's gonna be in. Maybe we'll see, or maybe the category's so crowded that it misses. But yeah, I don't have room for it in my predictions because they don't snub musicals. They're probably not gonna snub the racing movie. If Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere is not good, I'll take that out. And they're not snubbing Sinners, so I have to leave it out for now. One Bell After Another has guns and cars and all that stuff. Maybe that could get in if that's the Best Picture. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Dead Reckoning got in, but I'm not sure if this one's going to repeat. Our second to last category is Best Original Score. Sinners is going to win. The score is undeniably good. Load Book won for Black Panther and Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, phenomenal score. Black Panther also had a great score. Not as amazing as Oppenheimer or even Sinners, but Sinners has a great bluesy score that I think could win. The Testament of Anne Lee is by Daniel Blumberg, who just won for The Brutalist. It is a musical, so maybe that could be the runner-up, but I feel like Sinners is still going to win. Begonia, I'm pretty sure that's Tristan Fendrix, who did Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness. I didn't even watch Kinds of Kindness. Heard it was bad. But he did Poor Things. That had a great score. Jay Kelly's Nicholas Patel. He got in for Moonlight, If Beale Street Could Talk, Don't Look Up. And then One Bell After Another, Johnny Greenwood. And the trailer music sounds amazing, so I'm going to have that in. That's the second nomination I have for that movie. Marty Supreme is probably going to have like a sports score. Rental Family. Well, maybe. Sentimental Value could maybe After the Hunt is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Frankenstein is This Plot, and then Wicked for Good. The first one got nominated. I don't know if they're going to nominate this one. We'll see. Best Original Song. I have the new Alphabet song at number 1. I'm pretty sure the rumored title is No Place Like Home, but this is Alphabet song. Cynthia Erivo helped co-write it with Steven Schwartz, so if she won, she would be an EGOT winner, and that could be a big draw. However, I Lied to You, I think, could also win. That song is tied to arguably the best scene of the year so far, but that whole one take scene, which was just amazing, and it'd be a great performance at the Oscars too. Maybe that could win. But if the Wicked song is like truly amazing, that would have to win. Dear Me from Diane Warren Relentless. That is the Diane Warren nominee this year, and it's for her own documentary. She always gets in. And yes, that is the name of the song. It's not Relentless, it's Dear Me. I think Kesha sings this one. The Testament of Anne, it's a musical. They'll probably have a song. And then Girl in the Bubble from Wicked for Good. That's Glinda's song. That's a confirmed name for Glinda's song. So I think they could get both of them in. I don't really know why they wouldn't, unless the category's super crowded. Bruce Springsteen, if he has a song from Deliver Me From Nowhere, maybe that could get in. But that's not even confirmed. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I think that's like the big song from that movie. I haven't seen it. Haven't heard any of the songs, but maybe that could get in. And Last Time I Seen the Sun from Sinners. If they really want to go with 2 Sinner songs, I think that would be the second one that they go with. That's the one that they play like in the credits. So that's it. And those are the 10 movies I'm predicting for Best Picture. So yeah, that is it for my Oscar predictions. We'll see if Diane Warren wins. Probably not. Yeah, that's it for my current Oscar predictions for August. Thank you guys so much for watching. My next Oscar predictions will probably be sometime in September or October, after TIFF probably. Either after TIFF or after the New York Film Festival. Probably after People's Choice Award when probably after TIFF. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.